the last year, I've earned some awesome, wonderful, nostalgic platinum trophies thanks to the PS Plus Classics selection. The fact that it's constantly being updated with favourites of my childhood and teenage years is just perfect. And there are so many great games finally given trophy support that I 100% completed back in the day when I was knee-high to a grasshopper. But these platinum trophies don't seem to be forcing me to get the most out of the games I'm playing. And considering they're the exact same franchise that I used to be able to get hundreds and hundreds of hours out without even thinking, I have to wonder, is trophy hunting at all connected to completion anymore? Or not. After doing the Mortal Kombat 1 Platinum recently, a Platinum took 60 hours, but I only got about 50% out of the game. I don't think Platinum trophies are making us get the most out of games anymore. So I want to take today to have a little chat about completionism and maybe even launch a whole new series investigating this very topic. Why trophy hunting is no longer about completion and why PlayStation fans are absolutely fine with that. So let's go. This nostalgic trip started for me with the wonderful reboot of one of my favourite ever Sega franchises, Streets of Rage. And when I was a child, I played this game religiously, and I completed it so many times, but I never ever knew that if you completed it with a friend, you had to fight each other at the end. I had no idea about this because I had no friends who were good like me. Okay, I had no friends, fine, you've caught me. No need to be mean. Bit my room. But Streets of Rage was an absolutely quintessential title of my youth. 1, 2 and 3 were all owned very, very quickly and played for hundreds and hundreds of hours. I wanted to unlock everything I could. I wanted to beat the game with every single character. I wanted to find every hidden area, every hidden piece of food, every money bag or briefcase, every single weapon. I wanted to leave no rock unturned as I played and truly completed each and every one of the trilogy. So when Streets of Rage 4 came out and I saw that 7 out of 10 difficulty, I said to myself and my friends and family, how about now? But I went back to the game when I realised after a few other Sega titles had been chalked off on my platinum dream list that I'm not actually that bad at side-scrolling beat-em-ups. In fact, I'm quite good at side-scrolling games altogether. I don't know whether it's the 80s born or Sega generation in me, but I have a natural affinity towards them. I'm not good at them by any stretch, but I don't suck like I do at modern games or every other type of game. Don't get me wrong, I'm no turtlebat. I can't kick the living hell out of Shredder and be like, hey bro, jump in, he's already done. But I can jump in and get the trophy if he cheeses it for me, so that's some hint, right? No? Maybe? I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, the point is, Streets of Rage 4 was a huge moment for me in gaming because it was arguably my most beloved franchise as a child. And those memories of playing the game came flooding straight back with the new modernised aesthetic in the revival and the familiarity of those wonderful characters and locations. Now, you may or may not know this, but I lost my father when I was very young, so I never played many video games with him. But he did buy my first console for me, the Game Boy, on release. And I loved that thing so much. It was my pride and joy, the love of my life, and we will get to what I played and completed fully on that in a little while. But Streets of Rage was a Sega classic. It was a game that made Sega viable, because up until they got Streets of Rage, every game they wanted to release had been bought up by Nintendo. Every arcade machine out there was gobbled up by the juggernaut monster that is Nintendo, and Sega looked pretty buggered at this point. But Streets of Rage offered things that those arcade games could not do. The Sega could do things the Nintendo could not do, and people forget this. People forget that the Mega Drive was a far superior system. And it was just a far superior system. And Streets of Rage was evidence of this, because the number of characters that the game could generate on screen at any one time was double what the Nintendo could do in any game. And that just tells you everything. So the advertising of Sega got us bad boys going. It made us rebel. It made us say, hey, you Nintendo, you flipping weirdos. We don't want your green blood. What we want is the real thing. Graphics, though, but, you know, old school graphics. Yeah. And this game was such a wonderful experience for me because not only did I play a lot of it with both of my kids, my wife, and my brother, which I'd never had the chance to do with the others, it was a religious experience. It was cathartic, and after it, I didn't want to play anything else. I didn't want to play anything else. Luckily, there's DLC, and the DLC is hella addictive because it's wave survival, and I love wave survival. You ask my incredible COD group, I am so up for just like hours of just shooting zombies. I don't know what, it's autism, blame autism or something, I don't know. But I love it, I absolutely do, I really am into it. And Streets of Rage has this incredible DLC where Mr. X's Nightmare, the original villain, he's back for a bit of all this, but not really sure about the story, I wasn't really paying attention. But the wave survival is just randomly generated. You are able to just go into totally random things and just go as long as you like. It's wonderful. This game was so addictive that not only after I platinumed it could I not stop playing it, but after I 100% of the DLC, I still carried on playing. And when I finally managed to drag myself away from this addictive as hell game that by this point, I'm not gonna lie to you, I am good at. I'm not good at many games. In fact, I'm not good at any games apart from Football Manager. For some reason, I'm brilliant at that. But I couldn't put this game down. For some reason, and I cannot explain it, I just installed it straight on the Steam Deck and started playing it there instead. I just couldn't stay away. And not being able to keep playing the game because I'm a trophy hunter really drove me nuts. It really frustrated me. And it caused me the biggest spell of procrastination and fannying around that I have ever had in my entire life. And I promise you, I am a procrastinating king. I can procrastinate till the cows come home. And I don't live with cows, so that tells you everything. And I faff. I am a fannier, a faffer, a fluffer. No, wait, that's an old job. We're not supposed to talk about that anymore. There's an NDA. And in this platinum with my family was so wonderful. It simply was. There is no other platinum that even comes close to the feeling of this one because it was such a family reunion, a family event. And it felt like that. It was the perfect game for it. It was a truly happy experience from start to finish. Well, not finish because I didn't want to finish. It's like pulling, you know, like it's pulling like, you know, have you ever seen two dogs at it and it tried to pull them apart? That's kind of like me. I was like the dog humping the other dog, like a bulldog humping a Shih Tzu, and there's no getting me off. I mean, there's my controller right there, and I'm just playing till my fingers bleed, until I get those bleeding knuckles. Which, by the way, great trophy names in Streets of Rage 4. Absolutely. But this problem did not stop there. Then there was the Timesplitters trilogy, my favourite trilogy as a teenager, my favourite FPS of all time. It's a kind of like a Mortal Kombat of FPSs, where every genre is amalgamated into this huge, messy, convoluted gibberish of absolute Pulp Fiction gold. This is the game of all games. It is brilliant. The first game is pretty forgetful, but somehow it got a sequel. It introduces Sergeant Cortez, who looks like Vin Diesel, and it's just brilliant. It's utterly balmy, it's utterly ridiculous, it's utterly hilarious, it's utterly addictive. Everyone else was on Unreal Tournament, boring. Timesplitters 2 was where it was at. And this trilogy I 100% completed in the in-game achievements and did things that even the game did not want me to do. I just wanted to play it. I never wanted to pull away from it. I remember after being bought Timesplitters 2, I played it for 6 months solid, and I was bought multiple games in that spell and just ignored them until I just played TS2 until my head screamed in desperation for change. And as I closed in on a few very big personal milestones with trophy hunting, such as my 200th platinum and my level 500 on PSN, I started to fanny more and more and more and more and procrastinate like, well, a 90-year-old who thinks she's going to live for another 100 years. I didn't want to get the platinums. I just wanted that old school completion feeling at the end of it, because I did it just because I was enjoying it. And I did. I got the platinums. I got all 3 platinums. I stacked them. I didn't get true completion though. Because the platinum is a lot easier than true completion, because true completion requires you to get platinum trophies for all of the challenges, whereas the platinum only requires you to get some, mostly gold. And that to me is just stupid. And the game isn't hard like it used to be, because the fast forward rewind feature that it's been introduced on PS Plus Classics, which I do love by the way, because it does make very hard games very, very easy. Less very, very hard anyway. But the Timesplitters trilogy was very much a nostalgic trip down memory lane, and I loved every second of it, even though I faffed around while doing it. But those trophies didn't feel the same as those achievements when I was a kid, and honestly, I just put that down to the fact that I've done that so many times. I've done all 3 games so many times, there was just nothing left to do. There was just no challenge remaining for me, that it just didn't feel the same. I put it down to a me thing, right? That nagging feeling that the trophies I was collecting and the platinum trophies that I yearned for were no longer giving me the completion that I was seeking. But it got worse. And then we got to Mortal Kombat 1, one of my most recent platinum trophies, and here is where everything suddenly slid into focus. Firstly, Mortal Kombat 1 is a reboot of the long-running NetherRealm franchise, and the franchise has always been low in quality on the story, high in quality on the gameplay, and ever-evolving graphicness of sexualization and violence. It is a game of gratuity, born out of the early 90s Pulp Fiction obsession. And I see a lot of younger people criticizing Mortal Kombat 1's story, and I gotta tell you guys, it's perfect. For what the franchise is, for what the franchise has always been, it's exactly what it should be. It's complete nonsense, it makes no sense, it's absolutely ridiculous, and NetherRealm have cut it into 2 so that they can sell you DLC that doesn't have trophies, by the way, which really annoys me, because I'm going to play the second half of that game, because I'm going to buy the DLC, and yeah, that's going to really irk me that it's not going to pop me trophies. That brings me to my point. The fact is that Mortal Kombat 1 has a 60-hour platinum and is pretty challenging in places. You've got to beat that Titan battle, which I found personally easy. A lot of people struggle with, don't know why. Maybe it's because, again, I've been playing Mortal Kombat for 35 years, but I just didn't feel the challenge of it, and I'm not good at Mortal Kombat. I love it, I really love it, but I love sex, I'm not good at that either. And I just don't know, it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel genuine, it didn't feel like a true completion. And it left me feeling a lot like every woman I've ever slept with after sex. Unfulfilled, disappointed, and a little bit sad. The trophy list itself is pretty great, and it does make you do kind of pretty much everything in the game. A lot of people complained about the invasion stuff. I personally really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that little kind of tiny micro RPG, just go around finding fights, fighting, doing little challenges, and trying to survive rockets that are trying to attack an ice sculpture or some rubbish. It's fun, you know, it's just fun. It's Mortal Kombat, it's absolute best, and I don't understand the hate on it. I've played every single entry in the franchise, and I've done over 100 hours in most of them. I love these games, and this is proper Mortal Kombat. It is more gratuitous than ever, and one of the things my wife and I realised as I was playing it was, as I've got older, Mortal Kombat has become more and more graphically gratuitous in both its sexual representation and in its violence. Obviously, graphics have a big part to play in this. And of course, when looking at these games, there were a lot less to do in the old games, especially the Game Boy games and the Mega Drive games, because of space, because of how games could be built back then. So I do understand that there is more to do, and maybe a platinum trophy shouldn't be a do all of the things, because that could be a 1,000-hour grind out of Fortnite. But it should be do nearly all the things, or do everything a little bit. And I don't understand trophy hunters who complain about grind when you're getting something out of it. I do not understand why people complain if you're doing a grind and you're getting constant cosmetics and you're getting skins and you're getting weapons and you're getting consumables and you're getting credits and you're getting this and that and the other. I don't understand what you're complaining about. I really don't. I know people call me crazy, but I love grinding. It's what I do. I love it. Again, autism, guilty as charged. But it's brilliant to spend time building things instead of buying them in the store. And the more I unlocked, the more I feel like I was completing the game. The more I opened up, the more I feel like I completed the game. The more I understood the game, the more I enjoyed the game, the more I got out of the game. But people complaining about the leveling up trophies and the Kameo trophies, and okay, maybe the Kameo trophy is a little silly, it's not that bad. It's really nowhere near as bad a grind as a lot of people are saying. I think the people that are complaining about it are the people that don't know how to play the game, because it's quite simple to go into small three-tier towers in invasions mode, perform brutalities or the exact same fatality or animality at the end of each fight, and you're done. You're good. Groovy, yeah? What your best bet is to do Kameo fatality or brutality, because that will give you the maximum points for your Kameo character. And you do want to choose to use the extra 10% that you get from multiple different relics in the game so that you can get that extra XP and just polish off a little earlier. Also bear in mind, near the beginning and the end of each season of Mortal Kombat's online component, the invasions mode that we're talking about, you will be able to get double XP weekends, and I finished off the grind on one of those and I got loads of cool stuff. I got cosmetics, I got some cool coins, and I got some stuff from the store. I got real currency coins, you know, that you pay the money for, the red ones. I was well happy. I got the Scorpion and Sub-Zero sets for the movie Mortal Kombat 2 that the trailer hadn't even been out at this point. I mean, that's amazing. And I love the fact, by the way, that we get our first reveal of the two leads of the movie in the game that it should have come from, because that is perfect. That is NetherRealm and Warner Brothers actually doing it right. Total respect. I absolutely love it. And I miss Mortal Kombat. I want that DLC just so I can do it, just so I can keep playing the goddamn game, because I love it so much. And everyone else who's got the platinum around me is complaining at the grind for the Kameo. Everyone else around me is complaining that they had to do this, that, and the other for this many hours, and it's like, so why'd you do it? And the difference, in my opinion, that has emerged in the last 5 years between old school completionists like myself and modern day trophy hunters is this. Completionists enjoy completion. Trophy hunters enjoy popping the platinum. And there is a gargantuan difference. Developers know it, and developers are taking advantage. And this is why we have a rat plat explosion that becomes shovelware and is now an AI dominated hellhole. I don't even look at PlayStation Store anymore because it irks me so much how much crap is in it. If I want to play a game, I know what I want to play, and I will just voice command my controller to get the PlayStation to pop it up on screen for me, so I can either buy it if it's reasonably priced, which it never is on PlayStation, or I can play it on PS Plus. But so much has changed over the last 5 years since the pandemic that I don't think the Platinum Trophy is targeted at completionists at all anymore, which it was originally. Achievements and trophy hunting was designed for completionists. It's now been taken over by mainstream casual gamers who are more interested in numbers, and I have no issue with this change. It's not a problem to me. It doesn't affect how I can play my games or enjoy my completion the same way I always did. It doesn't make any difference. I just find it fascinating. I find it interesting, and I find it very, very exciting to look into why this happened, how this happened. Is it because it's a TikTok generation, like, you know, the old people say? Or is it because games are so big now that it is about making sure you get the best out of the game, not everything out of the game? Is completionism in itself dead? Long live the Platinum Trophy? Let's find out together. Let me tell you what I've got in store. So Turtlebat and I were discussing this at length, and we want to do a series where we document very well researched points in trophy and achievement hunting history, or gaming history in general, or specific games that changed things, or movements, or environmental, societal, political, whatever. But we want to look at things from so many different angles and really understand trophy hunting, achievement hunting, and completionism, and understand what the differences are between them. What is common across the three? What do all three do that no other type of gamers do? What separates trophy hunting from casual gaming? What separates trophy hunting from completionism? I think this is going to be really interesting. We've got a really cool group of people who are willing to help us out with this, and they're academics in gaming, in psychology, in multimedia disciplines, and they know what they're talking about. So don't worry, I won't do the research. I will leave it all to Turtlebat because he's the brains of the operation. I am just the face. And what a face it is, eh? So what do you think? Are you up for it? Do you like this? Do you want us to do a documentary series where we really look at the history, evolution, and changes within trophy hunting and achievement hunting over the years? Or do you want us to make comedy stuff? It's up to you. Let us know, please, in the comments. Thank you all for watching. Be good to yourselves and each other.